everybody and welcome to the Hunglish Premier League, the show where I talk about Hungarian football in English so everybody can understand what's going on in our football. Today we're gonna talk about the Hungarian national team that is taking on the Euros. First I'm going to talk about the people who will miss out on the tournament, and then we're gonna go through the squads. I'm gonna say one or two things about the people in the squads. And most importantly, I will tell you how we pronounce those names. Let's jump into it. Let's address the elephant in the room. Dominik Szabolcs has been ruled out due to injury, or just the risk of injury. It is not documented very well what's the case exactly. We know that Szabolcs wants to make sure that his career would not be put in danger, and let's face it, Leipzig would be very, very angry if they bought him and then never played him, and then he would get another serious injury throughout the tournament while they are paying his check. So you can understand their point of view. From a Hungarian perspective, it is very sad. He's been a massive influence on the team. He scored the winning goal. Basically, he scored the goal that took us to the Euros, only to not take part of it, which is incredibly sad because he said that he cannot wait to face Ronaldo, and now he cannot do that. And also because he's a young lad, you know, people still say that he has time to make it to 2 or 3 Euros. But who knows if he will ever have the satisfaction of playing it in Budapest. So that's a major blow. Other than the starlet, we have other injuries such as Zsolt Kalmár, who's a box-to-box midfielder, plays in the Slovakian league. But he was a very important piece in the puzzle. Now he's gone. He's a creative player, so we're gonna miss him. He has a serious ligament injury, so he has been off months and months ago. And we also have Szilveszter Hanya, who's a left back. He probably would have been there to start, in my opinion. But he has an ankle injury, and so he's out as well. So it is not the ideal squad, you know, the best of the best, but we'll have to work with that. Something that people forget to mention time to time is the last person who will not be at the Euros is actually a coach, Giovanni Costantino, who has been an assistant for Marco Rossi. And he has been by Rossi's side since 5 years, but now he took the job at MTK. He's going to become a head coach there, and it was too good to turn down. However, Rossi said that he only wants staff members who are fully focused and not busy with other things. So the two just said goodbye to each other, and Zoltán Gera became not an assistant, but a helping hand for Rossi throughout the tournament. So now that we've been through who will not be there, let's take a look at the people who will be there. First off, the goalies, the goalkeepers, I don't think I need to talk a lot. So mainly we're gonna focus on the pronunciations here. So the main man, the starting goalkeeper, has to be Péter Gulácsi. He is, of course, the keeper for RB Leipzig. If you follow the Bundesliga, you know that he is quality. I have to say he has a tendency of not showing his abilities as well in the national team as in his club, which I have no idea why the case is. He's not bad, but I think he proves himself a lot more in Leipzig than he does for Hungary for whatever reason. He is still by far my first choice goalkeeper as well, and of course Rossi's too, and this is only my personal opinion. Then we have a familiar name, Ádám Bogdan, who has been, of course, at Liverpool and various other English sides as well. He's had a busy couple of years moving here and there, and honestly he has not played a whole lot for Ferencváros since he signed for them. But whenever he played really, really well. We all know his quality. He's better than people think he is, in my opinion. Plus, he missed out on the last Euros, so this is more than worthy of a call, in my opinion. Another Ferencváros goalkeeper, Dénes Dibus, who has been the #1 keeper for Ferencváros in the Champions League and most of the time in the league. He is decent. He's doing well. I think he doesn't do a whole lot of superb saves, but he's very, very reliable, and he has some great experiences so far. The last few years especially, he played in international levels with Fradi. So I feel like we will not have problems with the goalkeepers. Now on to the defenders. We have Bendegúz Bolla, who's a young fullback who plays for Fehérvár. He had a really good season. I think he developed pretty well. Got a lot of playtime as well. He was the captain for the under-21s in this year's Euros as well, where Hungary didn't impress, and I've been being nice for saying that. But he has shown some leadership there, so definitely will be interesting if he gets some playtime there. Up next is another Fradi boy, Endre Botka, who has been developed at Honvéd, then moved to Ferencváros, and he's kind of a jolly joker in defense. I've seen him play as a fullback, center back. I would say center back is his better position. Personally, I don't see him as a good option for wing back, but we'll see where he plays exactly. He's versatile, so that's always nice in a squad. Up next is Attila Fiola, who is a very experienced defender, plays for Fehérvár now. He also had a really nice season. Interestingly, he played as an anchorman in midfield quite a few times, and he grew into a really, really good player there. That was a very interesting development from him. He had a double decent spring, in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to what he can do in the national team. Then we have Ákos Kecskés, who moved to Italy, Atalanta, when he was young, and then he was loaned out first for Újpest, then in 2 Polish sides. Now plays for Lugano, where he kind of found himself to be an established member of the team. He's alright. I don't watch a lot of Swiss football, so I would be lying if I told you how he does there. He played once for the Hungarian National Team, other than the under-21s, under-20s, etc., etc. He will probably be a rotation option. Up next is Ádám Long, who also has quite some international experiences. So it's nice to have him there. Rossi seems to like him as well, so he could be a starter for a couple of games. There should be a good competition between him and Fiola, because Hungary plays with 3 center backs, and obviously 2 of them are Willi Orban from RB Leipzig, and the myth, the legend, Attila Szalai is playing for Fenerbahce now. He had a tremendous season this year, both for the national team and on a club level. He's been superb. So the 2 of them has to play together, and they are doing really, really well. And I don't know if I need to tell you this, but we're facing France, Portugal, and Germany. So we're gonna need some good defenders and good defending. And they are solid. Should it be Botka, Fiola, or Long, or Kecskés with them is another question that I'm not going to answer today. Last but not least, we also have Gergő Lovrencic, who started as a winger and attacker, but has been playing as a wingback for many years now for Ferencváros and the national team as well. So that's nothing new. I would say that he will start as a right wing back, but there could be some rotation here and there, so we'll see if that's going to be the case. All right, let's move to the midfields. Obviously, I have mentioned Szabolcs absence and Kalmar's injury as well. So who could be there is a valid question. Well, there's going to be a couple of options. First off, we have Ádám Nagy, who plays for Bristol. Well, when he does, it's ups and downs for him, really. But whenever he plays, I think he's really, really good. I really enjoy his smart positioning, and I think he does a very good job. He's very, very important for the Hungarian national team because he does put in a huge shift. He covers a lot of ground, has incredible work rate. He is no doubt a starter, especially now that the midfield is changing. He may or may not get a partner in midfield to sort of help the defensive line as well, in Dávid Sigér, who also plays for Ferencváros, and he has been such a huge part of Ferencváros the last couple of years. It's unbelievable. Many people gave up on him, and then late in his career he found himself in the first division, and he did so well that Ferencváros signed him, and that just shows how good he really is. He is a very good box-to-box player, nothing fancy, nothing extraordinary, but he does the job really, really well. So he may or may not join him. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Another member that you may remember from the last Euros is Laszlo Kleinheischler. He plays for NK Osijek. He had a bumpy road and didn't want to be part of the team the last time because he felt he wasn't prepared mentally, but now he is. At least he accepted the call this time, of course, and he's sort of a wild card. He follows his instincts. He can do some crazy things, like good dribbling, good shots, but he has the tendency of getting carried away, which could put a lot of weight on Nagy and Sigér's shoulder. So we'll see what his ideal position would be. But Daniel Gazdag, who just signed for Philadelphia Union, he's a very, very creative midfielder. He always has this this interesting spark in him that you never know when he pulls off something magical. He's double decent going forward. His goal scoring has improved the last season, so he could be an option to play as a sort of a playmaker. And we also have Tamás Cseri, who is another guy who had his late bloom in the Hungarian top division, and he played so well that Rossi started to call him up. He has a very, very good dribbling. He's aging a little bit, but still more than capable of becoming a good playmaker, having good passes, through balls, running the show. We also have some different options. We have Philip Hollander, who plays as a striker in Serbia, played as a midfielder at Honvéd, and also has been used as a wing back on the left by Rossi at the Hungarian squad. So be my guess to figure out where he will play. My money is on being the left back, but we will see. He is also a very versatile player. On the other side of the pitch, we have Loic Nego, who is a Frenchman who became Hungarian because he spent so much time in Hungary already. He's really good, rapid, dynamic. He could be another choice for being a wing back. That's my assumption where and how he would play. I think he's going to be more of a substitute, but we'll see what Rossi has in his pocket for this group of death. And last but not least, András Schäfer. He is a really, really good box-to-box kind of midfielder, very young. I think he's more of a rotation option because he doesn't have a lot of experience behind him, but it's nice to have him. We could test him here and there. It's gonna be a great opportunity for him to learn a couple of things along the way. The attackers, now of course, let's start again with the obvious. Ádám Szalai, the captain, the leader, the target man. He works so hard. It's unbelievable. He doesn't score as many goals as he used to be, but he is still a very, very, very important part of the puzzle. He is tremendous at leading the entire team on and off the pitch. If you haven't seen his speech, I will link it in the description. He gave an amazing speech for the game in which Hungary qualified for the Euros, where basically he just fired everyone up by saying this is our time to make people forget about COVID for a second. It is unbelievable. Now we also have Nemanja Nikolic, who has an interesting role here because he's more of a poacher, which is not quite what Rossi does or use in this 3-5-2 system or 5-3-2, however you want to look at it. But he is just such a natural goal scorer that he has to be there. He didn't have the best of his seasons, if I'm honest, but he still has tremendous amount of goals in him and huge quality, so I would take him, no doubt. On to Roland Schallai, who plays for Freiburg in the Bundesliga. He can play as a striker, but he also can play in the wing, so if he does enough defending, we may or may not see him on the left side a couple of times. He's really good. He's pacey. His dribbling is nice. He plays he always played really, really well in the national team. So I would start him with Szalai, no doubt. And he's only just growing still. Then we have the two Varga. Roland Varga is an experienced player. He played for Ferencváros for years. Then a lot of talented people came into the team and he was kind of brushed aside, especially after he had an injury. And then he moved to MTK, where he bloomed a little bit again and showed that he has the quality to create chances and score them as well. And in the absence of Kalmar and Szabolcs, I have a strong suspicion he would take the free kicks when we have them. Kevin Varga is a different beast to tackle. He played for Debrecen. He's another pacey winger. His development is just amazing. He just improves very, very quickly. I'm so excited to see where he goes next. He plays for Kasimpasa. I don't know how to exactly pronounce that, in Turkey. And he had an alright first season there, so he definitely proved himself right. He definitely proved himself there. And he has done alright for the Hungarian national team as well. And then my favorite part of making these videos. Where do we start? Let's go with Szabolcs Schön, who is a young winger who played for MTK. He had a breakout season. He was developed by Honvéd, then moved to Ajax Academy. He spent 2 years there, improved a lot, and then decided that he wants to actually play and not just wait around for an opportunity. So he moved back to Hungary and did a fantastic job at developing himself. He worked so hard to be where he is. He signed for FC Dallas in the MLS. I've written a piece about him on my Patreon. It is free to read, so you will find the link in the description for that as well. I'm so happy that he got there. He has never been capped before, so it would be very, very exciting to see him play in the Euros. And last but not least, definitely not least, is János Hahn. He's a very interesting figure because he's also a poacher who had alright numbers, and then under the new coach this season, his goal scoring just skyrocketed. He has become the top scorer of the league in Hungary. He is a goal machine, a very humble soul, and a very hard-working man. And I cannot wait for him to finally show himself in the Hungarian national team. Many people would have picked Könyves over him because he proved himself at the Hungarian national squad already. But to be honest, he didn't really show any reason during the spring season as to why he should be called up again over Hahn, who just bagged over 20 goals, which has been quite some time when we last had a striker in the league like that. So there you have it. These are the players that will represent Hungary unless a huge injury blow happens again and we have to replace someone. And now you know exactly how it was supposed to be pronounced, but you will probably ignore it anyways and keep on saying the names as you already learned. I hope this was fun to listen to. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and suggest any topics that you would like to hear from me, if there's any of it. And if you want to do the extra mile, my Patreon is down in the description. You can throw a quid on me or two. It's up to you. It's not mandatory, it's just an option if you feel like doing so. Until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.